Hello, friends. This is Lieutenant Dr. Yasin. Is going to be a very crucial and very important lecture today. I'm going to deal with the one more manual, and that is the composting of the different how you're going to be compose the different things. So we are going to start today the composting of the organic materials. How we're going to compose the organic materials. So today we have seen the compose is of organic material which is derived from the plant and animal matter that has been decomposed largely through the aerobic decomposition. The process of composting is a very simple and practiced by individuals. So in their homes, the farmers on their land, and the industrials by the industry. The composting is a largely a biochemical process in which microorganisms, both aerobic and anaerobic, decomposes organic residue and lower the carbon nitrogen ratio. So this is the very important that how we going to be aerobic and anaerobic composition with the help of the carbon and nitrogen composition. The final product of the composting is raw rotted manure known as compost. This will act for the they will ask you for the examination this compost for one line each, and there will be a big questions also. We can have the this is the different definition and write the composition. Now you can see there are the rural compost and the urban compost. What is the rural compost? Compost from the farm letters, weeds, straw, leaves, husk, crop stubble, busa or straw, the lighter from the cattle use, the waste fodder, extras is called as the rural compost. Whereas we can see the urban compost is compost from the town refuse, night soil, and the street dustbin refuse is called as the urban compost. The composition of the town compost will be the percentage varies from the 1.4 to 1.0 to 1.4. That's the nitrogen, phosphorus, and the potassium is going to be a very important. Whereas we can see the decomposition, the dung and the lighter have to be fermented or decomposed before they can become the fit for use. Hence, the material is usually stored in the heaps or pits. You can see that where it is allowed to decompose under the suitable conditions. Water supply, air, temperature, food supply, and reaction. The microorganisms which can be decomposed, the materials. The decomposition is a partly aerobic and partly anaerobic as well as we decomposition. You can see the lighter is changed because of the color composition. During the decomposition, the color varies. The usually yellow or green color of the lighter is changed to the brown and the ultimately to the dark brown. So this is the very important indication that the black color is structural form which is converted into the colloidal, and slimy is the more or less homogeneous materials which can commonly known as the humus. They will be asking the definition of humus in the examination, and you can ask the classification as well about the composition and decomposition. Write a short note on, as well as the decomposed manure has a typical black color. We can see and loses the variable condition. It does not show the presence of the original lighter or dung. There are the different factors which can control the processing of the decomposition. We can say the food supply to microorganisms, moisture is there. Very first, we can see the food supply to microorganisms, which is the carbon nitrogen ratio. The suitable ratio of the carbonous and nitrogenous material is 40. But if it is wider than wider than this, the decomposition takes place very slowly, and when narrow, it is quick. The carbon nitrogen ratio of the dung of farm animals varies from the 20 to 25, urine 1 to 2, and the poultry manure is 5 to 10 liters, cereal and straw 50, and the legume refuses 20. The second important factor is, for the controlling the process is moisture. Moisture is about to 60 to 70% of the moisture is considered to be the optimum requirement to start decomposition, and with the advance in decomposition, it dimensions the gradually being 30 to 40% in the final product. Excess of moisture which prevents the temperature from rising the high and the retards decomposition, which can resulting into the loss of a part of the soluble plant nutrients through the leaching and the drainage. As well as in the absence of the sufficient moisture, the microbial activity ceases and it stops actually. I think it's a decomposition practically comes to an end. And then what you can see, the third most important is what aeration. The most of the microbial process are oxidative, and hence it's a free and supply of oxygen is necessary. Reasons for a poor aeration, or you can see pit or a hip, the excessive watering, very important first point, compaction, use of large quantities of the fine and green materials as the lighters, high and the big hips or deep pits are there. The first or fourth and very important factor that will affect for the decomposition, that is the temperature. Under the optimum condition of air, we can see the moisture and the food supply. There is a rapid increase in the temperature in the manure heap or pit. The temperature usually rises 50 degrees Celsius to 60 degree, and even it can go rise up to the 70 degrees Celsius. So the high temperature destroy the weed seeds and worms pathogenic bacteria extras, which prevent the fly breeding and makes the manure safe from the hygienic point of view. So this again, I can show you the hip and the pit, the difference between the hip and the pit. You can see the aerobic, the hip is going to be aerobic and pit is going to be anaerobic. The turning is required in the hip, no turning is required in the pit. The physical disintegration will be there in the hip, and the very little physical integration, disintegration in the pit. A quick oxidation is taking place into the hip, and the very slow rate decomposition is going to be happen in the pit. The high temperature, which can be 60 degrees to 70 degrees Celsius, as we have seen, the kill weed seeds and pathogenic organisms, and they here it can be like the very high temperature, not developed, but weed seeds and the destroyed due to the toxic products in the decomposition. The very loss of organic matter is about to 50%, and the loss in here it can loss in the pit is 25% of the percentage. If not properly protected, moisture loss is high, and then its watering is necessary. Here it is not going to be, loss is minimized, and the no watering is necessary in the pit. The rate, if rainfall is high, the leaching will be taking place, and there are the protect in the pits, they are protected from the leaching, but anaerobic conditions occurs over here. So this is going to be a very interesting topic. I think you might understand the differences between the pit, different compost and decompose. For the various lectures, you can have the you can discuss with me. If you have any question, you can raise the question over there. And till then, goodbye. Thank you so much.